Hi there, it's Dr. Davis again, and today I'd like to talk about halitosis, or bad breath. Well, specifically about the causes of breath problems that may not have occurred to you. Of course, bad breath won't kill you, but it surely could kill a relationship, and for that matter, kill a career if your work has any social component. Bad breath doesn't only affect the sufferer, but those that are close by. These, of course, are the same people that are wondering if they should say something or just bear with it and not stand too close. But more importantly, bad breath equals bad health. In this case, your breath doubles as a barometer for the health status of several different body systems. The good news is that with advanced testing, treatment for halitosis has advanced way beyond flossing, and it works. Most people know that germs in the mouth can cause halitosis, but how did the bacteria in the mouth get so, bad? While it's true that bacteria can collect in areas of the gums and teeth that are hard to brush, studies show that the bacteria that live in your mouth fully reflect the germs in your gut. Those bacteria are responsible for the volatile sulfur compounds, or VSCs, the foul-smelling gases and toxins responsible for bad breath. These bad gases can also increase the body's production of inflammatory proteins, called C-reactive proteins, that promote heart disease, stroke, and really any problem that involves inflammation like joint pain, swelling, and even brain degeneration. Commonly, these bacteria set up camp between the teeth or at the back of the tongue. That's why scraping or brushing the tongue can help with halitosis. Unfortunately, bad breath is not necessarily an easy condition to diagnose because the causes can be complex and related to things that you normally wouldn't think of. It could be that your breath is trying to tell you something. So here are 4 gut-related culprits that commonly result in halitosis. Culprit number 1, sinus infection. It's not surprising that your nose and nasal tract can hold the cause of your breath problems. Sinus infections are common and can be chronic, leading to the accumulation of gram-negative bad bacteria that tint the breath the wrong way. The swelling and inflammation of sinus infection may begin as a viral infection and then progress to bacterial in a matter of days. The pressure and irritation increases, leading to headache, sinus pressure, and bad breath from the tremendous numbers of bacteria that accumulate. These bugs then protect themselves from your body's defenses and antibiotics with a slimy biofilm that can also cause bad breath. Fortunately, there's an easy way to figure out if your breath issues are emanating from your nose or your mouth. Simply hold your nose and breathe out slowly for 10 seconds while your best friend smells the result. Then close your mouth and breathe out slowly from your nose. You, or your BFF, should be able to distinguish the offending orifice in short order. Another option is to lick the back of your wrist, wait for it to dry and smell, or you can also blow your nose and smell the result of that. Culprit number 2, GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disorder, sometimes called heartburn. GERD is a condition where the stomach acid is forced up into the esophagus by gut pressure. It isn't really an issue of too much acid as it is a problem of too much pressure developed by the small intestine. More about this in culprit number 4. This acid irritation causes a predictable bad breath. Think of it, stomach acid and pieces of food regurgitating up into your throat. That's got to give off an odor. GERD breath is particularly bad and usually associated with other symptoms like stomach pain, heartburn, even tooth erosion. But it can begin with just a bit of throat irritation or persistent cough. From there, the environment of the mouth changes, resulting in the wrong bacteria getting a foothold, causing further breath problems. A new study shows that 64% of irritable bowel patients had GERD. So if you have IBS, chances are you have GERD as well. The study also showed that these conditions should be treated at the same time. Culprit number 3, H. pylori. Another reason for breath problems from the gut is an infection of the stomach by the bacteria Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori, that causes stomach ulcers. In a recent study, patients that had an H. pylori infection had an increase in a gas that causes bad breath called methyl mercaptan. These people also had higher chances of having gum disease and the breath that goes along with that. It's also very interesting that the test for H. pylori infection is a breath measurement of hydrogen or methane, showing that these bacteria are clearly affecting the breath. Culprit number 4, SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. The colon is the place that holds all the microbes you need to make vitamins, collect energy, digest fiber, and stimulate healing of the gut wall. The small intestine, however, shouldn't have that many. In fact, the large intestine should have about 10,000 times more bacteria than the small intestine. When the small intestine bacteria overgrow, they cause all sorts of problems like bloating, pain, and gas. And as you can imagine, as these gases build up, bloating increases, and so does bad breath. You may also notice that when you eat sugar, your breath worsens because the yeast and bacteria feed on sugar and refined carbohydrates. Since hydrogen and methane are given off by bacteria in the small intestine, it can give your doctor a very good clue as to what to do to fix your problem. And this is important because it can be confused with IBS. Once again, the test for SIBO is a breath test reflecting its connection to bad breath. So what do we do? After we fully understand the underlying cause of halitosis by testing, it's time to direct our efforts towards curing the problem. Probiotics can be very helpful here because since the gut bacteria influence mouth bacteria, you'll want to balance the gut flora in a direction that would naturally inhibit the smelly bugs in the oral cavity. Your gut should have a balance of somewhere near 85% for good bacteria and 15% that are neither good or bad, a group called commensals. And don't forget that fermented foods are one of the best ways to repopulate the mouth and the gut with good bacteria. There's also natural antimicrobial supplements that are very effective at arresting bad bacterial and yeast infections in the small intestine like oregano oil, uva ursi, and berberine. Digestive enzymes are another approach to normalizing stomach function. As we age, our digestive enzymes dramatically decrease, allowing undigested food to putrefy and affect the breath in a bad way. Mouthwashes can also be helpful when you're waiting for your bacteria to balance out. One study found that products like Dental Active with anti-plaque agents combined with essential oils were very helpful. Finally, it's really important to find a doc that knows the ins and outs of infection, how intestinal conditions can lead to problems up the chain, into the small intestine, stomach, and the throat, and sinuses, and understands the natural ways to take care of it, because doing this on your own can be a bit problematic. One thing we know for sure is that optimizing your gut flora will go a long way towards preventing halitosis, and it strengthens your immune system and decreases toxicity and inflammation. If you're interested in additional information about natural ways to solve your breath or other health issues, please visit our site and make sure that you're getting all the updates of the new videos as they come online. If you'd like to work with me personally, you can let me know there too, so we can get that set up as soon as possible. Help is on the way.